friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Design. I am back with some amazing, exciting things that I'm going to be starting in my kitchen. Matter of fact, my sister called last night. We ended up talking about, she was asking me about Greek yogurt, how she could start a Greek yogurt, and I had just gotten this in the mail. Now, normally I don't use a culture to start yogurt. Sometimes I've used a culture from a different company, and I'll try to find a link for them. But I find that I can usually get yogurt off of yogurt, so it usually works really well for me. So I have a Greek yogurt starter, so I'm going to try this and see. We just joined a raw milk co-op, so I am super, super excited. I've got raw milk in my fridge right now. I've already gone through over half of the buttermilk, about half of the milk, but I'm getting ready to start this with that. And then, because tomorrow we pick up every 2 weeks. And then I will then begin doing milk with a full gallon at a time in a glass jar. So it's kind of it's a process, but it works really well. And I love it, and I'm happy with it, so we're all good to go. But I've never tried this, so I thought I would give it a try. It's gluten-free. Make it yours. Make batch after batch of creamy, probiotic-rich Greek yogurt. So, just like I said, you're going to use 2 packets of dehydrated Greek yogurt culture. Well, I guess this has 2. Yes, it has 2. Instructions for activating and maintaining the starter culture. I guess that's inside. Use pasteurized whole milk. Avoid ultra-processed or UHT milk. I am going to use raw milk. I'm okay with that. Not if you are, you have health issues, or you're making this and you have small children. Sorry, I got a alarm going off. You're making it for small children. You may want to use pasteurized milk. And when my kids were young, I did buy raw milk, and we also milked our goats, and we used that as well. So, and then it's also talking about using a yogurt maker or similar appliance that will hold a temp at 105 to 111 degrees Fahrenheit. So the key is, and we're still a little cool because we got a cool front end. As you do your yogurt, you can heat the milk up to that temperature on your stovetop. Just be sure you use thermometer. I really can feel it and know what the temperature is because I've made a lot. Or you can buy the slow heat methods, which I also have those. And they also have just yogurt makers, but don't do that. That, to me, that's just a huge expense. And my particular way I make yogurt, I think now it's been on Shark Tank, and it's this like heating pan like thing that fits down over a 1 gallon thing of milk. That's why I put it, I don't like the plastic, so I put it in a glass jar, 1 gallon glass jar. And then you could even do it on a half gallon paper carton I saw last night, because I was trying to find for my sister, links. But I literally got mine for less than half off. It was in the early stages, so we were very willing to try it, and it works beautifully. I'm not kidding you guys. It's amazing. So, but even if you warm up your yogurt to that on the stovetop, and like I said, use a thermometer, check your temperature, 105 to 111, because you don't want to get it any hotter. It'll kill the culture. It's a live culture, so yes. You can then just wrap it in a towel, put it in an ice chest, or put it on top of your fridge. I just always just stuck it on top of my fridge. It worked beautifully. It just did. The heat from the fridge would come up through the top of it and just take care of it. Now, in the summer, we definitely are better here than in the winter because, our house is not necessarily always warm in the winter unless we're running the wood stove. But again, I would have just put it on the stovetop and then put it in an ice chest wrapped with a towel. It's really easy to make yogurt. It's crazy, crazy easy. And then I highly suggest you either get small jars or save your jars from something else and then just preload them and divide them up. Because when somebody sees that big old jug of yogurt in the fridge, they never eat it as well. Now, if my son could have eaten it when he was young, he probably would have finished it off. But he couldn't have dairy. And so, yeah, he had to be casein free. So for those who eat the yogurt, get it little small jars. Just save your jelly jars or whatever jars you get from the grocery store. Wash them out really good and preload it. And I even have friends who put jam on top, and that's how they stick it in their fridge. And um, I don't eat sugar jam, but I would put a little bit of vanilla in it, and we love Mexican vanilla because we're down here in Texas, and it's just vanilla from Mexico, and then maybe even a little cinnamon or yeah, you could put honey if you wanted it. You could put maple syrup. I really love plain Greek yogurt with maple syrup and blueberries. It's one of my all-time favorites. If I'm really wanting something sweet and creamy, I'll add in banana slices. That was my Weight Watchers go-to, or it was one of the diets I was doing years ago. Anyways, fitting something, I can't remember, but it was really one of my go-tos. So I just keep wild frozen blueberries, and if you don't know, the wild ones are the best ones for you, and you can buy them at your grocery store frozen, or at least we can here at HEB, and that's what I put on my yogurt, and it's like ice cream treat night, you know what I mean? So, but I have to take it up in the pre-done jars, or I am so lazy I will just like totally look past it and go for something else if I'm hungry. There's my yogurt. I am so thrilled. I have never made cream cheese. I'm literally making yogurt cheese right now, and it's been going since yesterday. I have never made cream cheese. I'm super excited. I think it will be a yummy addition into our diet. It's another probiotic rich culture. I mean, anything cultured is a probiotic. So I have no clue how to make it. I have not opened any of this. I just took it out of the box and I'm just sharing it with you guys. So I will try to remember and share an update on this. So I am super excited. And then last but not least, I do have a gluten-free sourdough starter. I have tried multiple times with the setup that I have for my regular sourdough, and I never had the problems with my regular sourdough that I've been having with gluten-free. There's something in the gluten-free version that heavily attracts gnats. So I have literally, this all came from Cultures for Health. This came from Amazon, and I wanted everything. So I have opened this, and I took out the styrofoam, but I put it back in here to show you guys. So it tells you how to set it up, wash your jar, put your thermostat, have a little thermostat sticker if you can see that, and then put your band on it so you can mark the days or the times, and then it comes with a little lid. It also comes with a regular lid, so once, if you need to switch lids. So I am hoping that this little cloth lid is going to do it. So there's use that line there on the jar with that band, and then you just clean your jar good, let it dry, and then stick that on the jar. And it tells you, if it needs to be in a warmer spot or a cooler spot. It came with this nice little, jar, silicone kind of jar scraper. I do have one of these in my kitchen. Matter of fact, I used it last night, but I just haven't. I just thought it just came in the kit, so I was really glad. So here's that. So this will be my gluten-free sourdough starter. We are going camping this weekend, guys. I mean, Lord willing, we are going camping. My husband and I decided we're going to go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Lord willing. And I am literally taking this in my camper. I am not going to let this baby sit home. I am taking it with me. If I can get it started in time, I will take it with me. If I can't, I won't. Because I have been heavily cleaning. This is our spring break. I went out today, started getting my garden prepped a little bit. I mean, I didn't do that much. And then I'm going to move y'all just one second. And then I just had a great time getting all my freezers are in order. We have 3 refrigerators upstairs. I know it's obnoxious. We have one with meats, one freezer with nothing but fruits and vegetables. I know it is crazy, but it's side by side, so it's even larger. And then we have one with all of our leftovers and pre-made meals. And I spent yesterday and made 4 meals and 4 breakfast casseroles. And I just felt like when I got through, I just felt like the weight of the world that was off of me. I've got some things out of my camper that I've pre-made. I'm going to have my daughter bring those in, get those in there together. And then I have a section for just like my gluten-free breads and things like that. Our freezers aren't huge. We do have a deep freeze downstairs. That's next. But once I start getting all the upstairs eaten out, and there's tons of room in these, um, I'm going to start bringing up that deep freeze. And I eventually want to get rid of one of the refrigerator freezers. I'm not sure yet which one. I know which one my husband wants to get rid of, but that is the one that works the best. We've had it the longest. I want to keep it. They're all that stainless steel front. They're really nice. But I really, really think I want to get rid of that middle one. But we'll see. And the drink or the refrigerator portion of that one is nothing but kombucha, water, juice, milk. It's just all drinks. It is all drinks. It is crazy. But in this family, because we live in Texas, if it's hot and we don't have a drink, it's miserable and something cold to drink. So it is filled with kombucha, waters, hints. I can't remember what else. Juice. My husband likes juice, milk, tons of milk. From that co-op. So, yeah, I mean, it's all good. And then our left fridge is fruits and vegetables, and our right fridge is like leftovers and seasoned nuts in that fridge. So, and then cheeses. We have a cheese drawer, and we are cheese people. It is very full. So, our downstairs fridge is for eggs from the chickens and waters for when they work outside. And then I don't know, my youngest manages the deep freeze and the freezer portion, which I'm sure my husband's going to say, no, you have to come downstairs and do all this. These are all day projects. They are all day. They take all day for us because we have to read every single label, everything, because we've gone from gluten to gluten-free. So I set up a little basket in that third freezer for our youngest, and I want that to go downstairs in that downstairs fridge. Because I have tons of things still left, like dumplings that she loves, and chow mein, and ravioli, things like that. And those are all gluten items, and I can't eat those. And but I feel like that alone. Now the rest of the afternoon, I need to process I need to food prep all my fruits and vegetables. I've got 2 carts loaded for the grocery store. We just got paid, praise the Lord. And before I order anything, I want to make sure what I have in my fridges. It's a big deal. And as we get ready to work in gardens and whatnot, and guys, I'm so thrilled. I already have lemon balm, lavender's blooming. I have garlic. I have onions. I have, they found some really weird plant. I don't know what this, my husband was like, is this a carrot? And I was like, no, this is a sweet potato. Where'd you get it from? And it doesn't have sweet potato top, so I don't know what it is. But I'm at a point now where if we don't get it through our CSA, which is our community something service agriculture, I don't know what it is. Anyways, it's just all the farmers, local farmers. We got to do that once a week. Or we're going to get ready to start that in April, pardon me. And then we do our raw milk, and they also have eggs, but we don't need eggs. Pardon me, cheese. And then they were doing gluten-free pizzas, but I can't get a hold of the people. So I'm hoping we can order a gluten-free pizza. We'll see. We did it last time, and my husband was like, this is better than Domino's. This is such a good deal. And I said, I've had Domino's twice gluten-free, and I have to say, they were horrible. I was telling my sister, they are just horrible. And then I have bread mixes for gluten-free pizza that I'm going to try to make those up this week and get those in my freezer to have in the bread basket portion of the freezer, and just get all that set up so that when we're hungry for something like that, I can just go in, pull it out, set it out in the sink, or, and I may have some flattened on, I have some pre-done like paper liner type things that you can roll it all out, wrap it really good and freeze it. And I may just do that. And then all I have to do is pull it out and add toppings, and we're good to go. So, and I always have homemade pesto. I always have red sauce, and I don't do a lot of red sauce. I try to avoid tomatoes. If I'm going to eat tomatoes, I want to eat a real tomato. I don't want to eat a processed tomato, if that makes any sense. And I'm getting ready to can tomatoes. So, hey, happens. But I will tell you right now, most likely I will take all those tomatoes they're from last year's garden. They've been in the freezer. I will turn those into salsa. My husband loves salsa. I love salsa. I really love a fresh salsa, like almost like a pico de gallo. But I will do salsa. He loves it, and I think that is an easy thing for me to do. So I think that's what I will be canning. Um, and I've got this electric canner, so I really want to try that out. And I'm thinking I can do pints. I can double stack them in that. I hope I can. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna. And you can water bath can in that as well. So I'm excited. All right, my last big box. Isn't this a monstrous box? So I have canned. That was the first thing I ever canned was pickles, years and years ago. And I love bread and butter pickles. I love dill, like a Clausen dill, cut up, chopped up in like, um, you know, um, egg salad or stuffed eggs, or I think that's really pretty much it. It's a weird thing, but I love fermented eggs. So I'm excited to give this a try. It's a half-gallon glass jar, and I had a problem last year because we grew Armenian cucumbers, which are prolific. We could not eat them all. Our chickens ate a ton of them, and then we got so sick that we couldn't process anything. I mean, I've never seen a garden go crazy like that. It went wild. And my youngest was so gracious. She would go out there and pick all those tomatoes for us. And we had most of our tomatoes the first part of the summer, so I was able to do that. But by the end of the summer, we were I mean, 3 rounds of, COVID, you're not feeling very good. And that's where I was. And I could not breathe well until almost Thanksgiving, October, really November. So, I tried fermenting my Armenian cucumbers, and I was not happy with how they turned out. So I thought this wasn't a crazy price. I got a super good, you know me, got to be a coupon, but it comes with a half-gallon glass jar. That's fine. That's great. I have tons of jars, but I'm thankful. There you go. Airlock lid fitted with rubber grommet. Love that because we have that problem. Large ceramic fermentation weight, Celtic sea salt, and recipe cards. So I have been dehydrating nonstop from all of our Meyer lemons and then oranges when they were such a good deal at the grocery store. I've been dehydrating all those. Those are going to go in a jar. I've got some limes and lemons still to go. I mean, I filled we have one of those commercial size looking dehydrator things. And I think it's got like 12 racks. It's just crazy. And then I also have been dehydrating. As I went through my freezer, I found things like mixed veggies, things like that I just rather go ahead and dehydrate, take them, and then vacuum seal them, put them on the jar, on the shelf, and be good. So we've been setting up our food storage. There's more coming up. My sweet daughter's been bringing things up. We have tons and tons and tons of canned things. I was going through all the jars as she was bringing them up, and I was like, oh, I remember canning this. Oh, I remember canning this. So it was kind of like, oh, duh. I mean, we had literally thousands of figs that first year of, and so I canned figs till the cows came home. I mean, I just canned and canned and canned and canned, and we ate them, and we had them broiled, and we had them every which way I could think of. We ate them raw. We ate them, I mean, we ate figs like there was nothing, because we were still vegetarians, and we couldn't get groceries, and I had come home sick in March, and so by the time that summer hit, it was like whatever. And I will never forget, my husband discovered, as we could not get fresh fruits and vegetables, and that's all we were used to eating, and I was eating like wilted lettuce. I wouldn't feed it to my husband and daughter, but I would eat the wilted lettuce for a salad. It was crazy. I mean, I would try to give them everything fresh that still tasted good. And my husband found we had dewberries. Somehow, little birdies brought us dewberries, and they were eating them somewhere on the side of the road. And it was like heaven. My husband went out, we picked and we picked and we picked, and I added them to oatmeal. I put them on everything I could add them in for just that little bit of, like, I'm sure vitamin C's in there, the antioxidants, etc. And it was like, fruit caviar. That's what it was like for us. And I don't know what caviar tastes like, but I'm just telling you, that's what it looked like. and I froze them. I like partialed them out. I would not let myself have a whole lot, but I would, wanted my husband and daughter to have as much as they could. My daughter is tiny, so I was concerned about her getting sick and then losing weight and all of that. So I was always like pushing everything I could towards her. And then my husband as well, because he was working and he was getting very, 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 very stressed. And so I got them all that good food, but it was God's gift. And then last year we had an even bigger bush of it. And the birds came, and my husband kept saying, they're not ready, they're not ready, they're not ready, they're not ready. And the birds came and wiped it out in one visit. It was completely picked clean. And I mean, we had thousands of those berries. So this year, God willing, I am going to be sure to order a bird net. And I'm going to have my husband put up, T-posts around it so that they can grow and we can pick. And I am super excited. I found 2 bags of frozen blueberries. So I'm going to be doing some peaches today. I'm going to make some peach jam, just freezer jam with chia seeds and, what am I trying to say? Chia seeds and some kind of sweetener like maple syrup or something. And that will just make a quick freezer jam. And I'll put some in the freezer and then some in the fridge. And yes, I can jam too. But when those come, I'm going to do a blueberry peach, like gluten-free cobbler tonight for everybody, but with faux sugar and, or not faux, but alternative sugar, no processed sugar. So I may use I've got honey powder, I've got maple sugar, I've got date sugar, I've got date syrup. I've got all these things, maple syrup, honey. I could use monk fruit, stevia. Stevia's great. So anyways, I'm super excited. I'm going to do that. I'm also going to take some of that fantastic milk and make when I went to Weight Watchers as a little girl, I was taken at 10 for the first time. One of my all-time favorite things was a bread custard. And it was called bread pudding. But it was more, I loved custard as a child. And you were to use sweet and low. So I finally figured out how to do it with sugar. And now I have to figure out how to do it with monk fruit. And so I've been reading recipes all morning, trying to decide how I want to go about it, reading custard type recipes. I love custard pudding. But, and you're wondering, well, you're gluten-free. Why don't you just leave the bread out and you're low carb? There's something about the bread in there too. I mean, I have to tell you, so I have some gluten-free bread in the freezer right now that I need to use up. And I think I'm going to make a bread pudding. And it is, I'm telling you, I grew up eating that for breakfast. It was such a treat. And my mom would put them in those little, they're these little bitty tiny individual casserole. I think we by Corel. I think I have some somewhere. I've got to go look and see if I can find them. They were, it was just, and they had little plastic lids that went on. I remember as a kid, I remember just thinking, oh, this is the best. This is the best. This is my favorite. And nobody else here likes it. Now, my daughter loves flan. And if I had one of those torch, I would take some, put some sugar on top and, torch it for her and she'd eat it. And she would be like, oh, this is fantastic, kind of thing. But I think for right now, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm really tempted to try that with a date syrup because dates are so caramel-like in their flavor, like the medjool dates. So anyways, and by the way, Julie's that you can buy, Joolies, you can buy them on Amazon. You can sometimes get them really cheap on Walmart.com, so keep an eye out there too. They're now selling an Uglies version of Julie's, and I don't know if it's just that they're ugly fruit. I'm on their subscription for it now. I eat dates every day. That's my candy of choice. I've gotten to where I'm hardly eating even my Lily's chocolate anymore. My husband brought me some home the other day, and it was so good. But I found myself eating the dates, so I'm not losing like I should be. So I used to keep them in here by my chair. I don't even keep them in here anymore. I got to walk to get them. I'm going to limit myself on how many I can have because they are so high in calories. But they're so good in nutrition and fiber and just killing that sweet tooth when you have it. So I do keep them in jars in my fridge. That is in my drink fridge because they're so moist. I'm afraid that we get so hot here. I'm afraid that they will mildew. So that's just a tip. So back to this. I'm excited. I will not grow as many Armenian cucumbers. I only had 2 last year, and we literally had hundreds of cucumbers. Our chickens were fat and happy. They loved them. Um, I love cucumbers. I love it with tzatziki. That's my all-time favorite. Or cucumbers and onions with white distilled vinegar and water. And we used to put a little bit of sugar. I'll put faux sugar or some different kind of, alternative than processed sugar, but healthy, natural. And then I will put in salt and pepper. And that, my mom used to make that all the time. So good. You just ring your onions and then cut them in half like moons, half moons or quarters. You can put them in quarters. Throw them in a jar. Put them in your fridge. Let them get ice cold. And in the summer, it is such a delightful taste. Now, can you ferment that? You better believe you can ferment that. You better believe it. I've not, because I really grew up eating it a certain way. I'm always looking for that certain flavor. Now, one thing I have done is instead of having sugar, I will use a strawberry vinegar. Oh my goodness. Or if you have a peach vinegar, or you have flavored vinegars, fruit flavored, they are fantastic in that. It's really hard to find. You can usually find a raspberry vinegar in your local H-E-B or Walmart. That can be hard, but we would go to vinegar and oil, like olive oil, or, there are types of stores. And, oh gosh, I would come home with like 15 different vinegars. It was just pathetic. But, I love it. And if we get back out to Phoenix, I've got all my empty bottles to go get refilled. Now, I also make vinegar. I'm getting ready to make, I saved all the tops and bottoms from all of my oranges and lemons. I'm getting ready to make vinegar for cleaning because it just smells good. But I don't necessarily like the taste of citrus. So, yeah. I mean, but it smells so good when you clean your house with it. And I'll probably do a lemon and an orange. And then when I do the limes, I'll do a lime separate. And so those will be really nice to clean with. But I've made strawberry vinegar nonstop. I've made this weird little melon that grew in our pasture. We don't know what it is. They're kind of tart, but they look like little cantaloupe melons. And I've made tons of vinegars off of that. And I've put strawberry in that to make it taste a little bit better. Strawberry, when you juice, hides all the flavors. So I figured in making vinegar, it might, work as well. And I did find it to be quite successful. So there's that. Let's open this. Let's take a look at this one, and then I'm going to let you go. So I wanted to say the Cultures for Health. In the old days, I remember buying from them and their expiration dates being much sooner. But I think it looks to me that it has changed. So for that, I'm very thankful. So, all right. So let's see here. So my nice little box, I'll put that over here. I don't know if I'm going to need it. Probably not. But I wanted to save it. I have not taken it out, so I have no clue. So lacto fermented pickled onions. Yay. In a heartbeat. I would eat those every day. Garlic sauerkraut. Oh, so you can use this for all of this. Ooh. Ah. And this is easy. 2 medium heads, cabbage cored and shredded. 5 cloves garlic. 1.5 tablespoons of sea salt. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Dilly beans. I've never done that. I want to try that. And I'm wanting to know, and forgive me guys, I'm really dumb. I'm just wanting to know, just regular young green beans trimmed. I can totally do that. I cannot grow green beans to save my life. I don't know what it is here. We may just get too hot too quick. I don't know. I must be putting them in the wrong place. I've tried them in multiple different places. So I think I'm going to try those really long purple beans. I forgot what they're called. I want to think they're Asian, but I'm going to try some of those this year. We'll see. And I hear those are absolutely insanely prolific, but if it doesn't grow, it doesn't grow. So, and here's the original sauerkraut with just a tablespoon of sea salt and cabbage. So the other one, what was, oh, garlic. They put I love garlic. Yeah, garlic it is. Oh yeah, lacto fermented hot sauce. Oh, there you go. Now I've done fermented hot sauce for my husband. He's not a vinegar hot sauce guy, so it's really hard to do a fermented hot sauce, but he'll do it a little bit, but not a lot. He's pretty picky. Lacto fermented dill pickles. So that's the first thing I want to try. And I think that will be yummy. And I'm super excited about that. My husband does not like fermented hot sauce, because what he really likes for me to do is to take as many of the peppers that I can't get around to canning or making a regular hot sauce and then can that. I dehydrate them and then I grind them down, and he literally, it's like when you put black pepper on your meal, he will put that on his meal nonstop. His favorite is popcorn. I know. I don't know how he eats it. I mean, he likes Carolina Reapers, friend. He is crazy. Ooh, Pippa. He is crazy. So he will eat a ton of hot stuff. So looks like here's that. Okay, this is one of those. There we go. And that is just helps you keep, and I never quite understand why. Okay, so it'll seal. I got it. Okay. So it just helps the overflow so you don't spill over. And yet, because this lid is down, it keeps the bugs out. And then as it allows the air and the fluids to escape, yeah, there we go. And then, of course, if you need to, you can take the top off. If it gets to be too much, you can pour it out. They even give you the Celtic sea salt. Okay. Well, I like real salt. I also have pink Himalayan, but there's nothing wrong. And I also have a French sea salt that I got through a very lovely family. And then, but the Celtic is just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I do like to support real because they harvest, it's just, there's a whole lot of like politics involved, and I'm not going to get into that, but, and it's an American company, so I like supporting them. So yeah, that's what I thought. So these are the kind of weights that fit together, and then you just set them in and it holds everything down. I like these sometimes than the glass weights. Now these feel like they're like a clay of some sort. The glass weight, it can still let things escape. So these are just a little bit bigger. So hopefully it will be more effective. So that is my haul. That is my fermenting haul with a lot of recipes in there. And just my experiences, whether they be good or bad, you know, I mean, I'm just sharing with you guys some things I'm doing for better health, for myself, for my family, and just new things I'm trying this year. I am more determined than ever. Matter of fact, there's a lot going on with my husband's company. So if you have time to say an extra prayer, guys, say a prayer for us. It is really difficult right now for the next week and a half. And there are a lot of decisions that have to be made. And it's getting kind of like, oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow, how do we do this? So we're not really sure yet where God's leading us. So, but one of the things he could be leading us to is my husband's early retirement. And if that be the case, we will see. I think he's too young. I think he's too smart to retire, as does everybody I speak to, you know, everybody who's spoken to me about it, I should say, except for his buddies he works with. And it's not that they don't think he's smart. They know he's smart. But they just, everybody has their own, you know, opinion. And so, but if that be the case, I have to go in sooner than later to get my knee surgery. And my husband said, you got to go ASAP. And I said, yeah, I know. So he's working really hard on the mini house. He worked yesterday, today. They went and got paint, and they're trying all these things out. They're putting in walls. They're going at it. And so the next thing is they got to get the bathrooms up to par. Sinks, I think they've installed the sink. They just have to hook it up to the water. And they're painting, trying different paint colors. And then we move her. And then once that happens, we convert her old bathroom, the kids' bathroom, into a walk-in shower. Once that happens, it's surgery time. So I'm trying to get as healthy as possible. I'm trying to eat as healthily as possible. I need to lose some more weight, guys. Pray for me. It is so important. This recovery can be a beast. I know that. And because I tend to have crazy experiences in surgery. In the words of my husband, if there is a, 1/10% that somebody would have a problem, you're that person. And it's true. I mean, he's not wrong. So, anyways, so we are going to get as good a probiotics going. I'm also meeting with a wonderful gal working on my nutrition and my health, and I'll be going through all kinds of gut clean out, the whole thing. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I hope, God willing, it's gonna be successful, and then I can get it done hopefully sooner than later. I'm not super excited to do it, but I am at a point now. I'm sure I'm damaging bone with all the. There's my guineas. They hear me. I've got the window open. Can you tell? But with all my bone spurs on my knee, we are clearly deforming. I'm deforming the bone. And I noticed, my sister said, well, if you're changing your gait, and I said, oh, my gait's totally changed, and you know that. And I noticed yesterday my left ankle that I broke almost 40 years ago is grinding with each step, as long as I keep working on my, as long as I'm standing and working all the time. So I'm sure that's a result of the gait change and the amount of weight I can handle on, one leg. So anyways, I know that's really kind of probably boring, but any of you that have been through this, any of you that know anything about recovering knee after surgery, soon as it's healed, I will be the first one in a pool recovering it. I know to do water therapy is one of the best therapies. That's my goal. I'm sure I'll be in PT, which I'm gonna be honest, yuck. I've also done PT with kids, so I know. But I did a lot of pool PT with special needs kiddos, and I rehabbed a broken leg that way. So I know, as far as all the arthritis, that's a really good route to go. So we'll see. But we start with, trying to slowly exercise, trying to eat healthy, trying to build up my autoimmune system, trying to do all those good things. And I think, when you start something this heavily, it feels like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back sometimes. But I've got some new books I got on clearance at Natural Grocer. One is by Rob Wolf. I really want to read that one. It's a lot of no grains, that kind of stuff. And I'm sure that's going to be the next thing I'm going to hear is, do you want to consider no grains, no dairy? I know. And I love dairy, so we're going to have to see about that. It's the one thing that kept me from being full-blown vegan for very long. I grew up with our neighbors owning hickory farms. And so their family did, and they were running the store in our little town of Corpus Christi, Texas. And so going to Hickory Farms was like going to Baskin Robbins for us. I know there's apples and oranges, but it was good, my friends. And if I get tired or hungry or sleepy, as I eat more paleo and keto, I will go in and get a piece of cheese, and not crazy cheese, but just a slice of Swiss or a baby Swiss, or a little piece of extra sharp cheddar. I'm trying to they sometimes have raw cheese at our dairy co-op. I'm hoping we're going to get more of that. That I'd rather have any day, because that will have all the probiotics, all of that. So anyways, we're getting there. So anyways, tell me if you guys are trying anything new. Let me know what you're cooking new in your kitchen. We found some Christmas gluten-free cookies, no processed sugar. And my husband and I have been eating them every night. And they're little bitty tiny cookies, because they use the little bitty tiny scoop. And we each eat we'll eat 2, and that's like eating 1 regular cookie. And then we wait a little while, and then we'll eat 2 more. And I got to make more cookies. We ran out last night. So it was just like, oh my goodness, I got to make sure I can get those Lily's mint chocolate chips. Those are the best. Thebomb.com. I got some Dutch processed cocoa. So I want to do another chocolate chip cookie with nuts. And then I will also do a white chocolate in there because I did a white and a dark, and it was so good. And, or, a darker chocolate. And so I know you're probably thinking, well, isn't that defeating your purpose? But when they're tiny, it's like, and you're watching a movie at night, it's like, oh, you want a treat? Because I got some from the Daily Harvest, and I'll be back with that share later. I'm going through Daily Harvest run, and I'm going to review that for you guys. So far, except for the cookies, it hasn't been too much of a winner. My husband has liked it far less than I've liked it. We're getting ready to, these have all been like the bread pizza type things and the casseroles and just some things like that we've gone through all that, and everybody's kind of thumbs downed it so far. I mean, they've eaten it and they said, well, it's good, but what is that? Kind of thing. So, I mean, let's be honest, purple sweet potato and kale pizza is unique at best. So, anyways, but I'll be making my own pizza. I really wanted to see what they're using, how they're mixing it, what are the combinations, that kind of thing. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to read the ingredient list and I'm going to try to recreate it. But I will recreate it in a way that I know my husband and daughter will like it. And yeah. And so last night I did a taco, gluten-free casserole. It even had cottage cheese in it. I know it was another protein source because I didn't have as much meat. We had maybe that much meat per person. So I had, I put a little bit of parm in there because that's a lower fat cheese. I put cottage cheese, and then I topped it with extra sharp cheddar. And then I did a broth of just the taco seasoning mix. I mean, I put all the meat on there. I put all the pasta, and then I put the cheese, the cottage cheese with a little bit of parm. And then I put the meat, and because I didn't have so much meat, I made more of the broth, and then in the same pan after I distributed the meat 4 ways. And then because it was basically less than half a pound per casserole for 4 meals. And some of those were really big ones. We had a small one last night. It was just like loaf size. And then I topped that with more. I just thought, well, I don't have enough meat, and I want the pasta to get that flavor. So I just went back and made more taco seasoning in the same pan, and I had that flavor from the meat. It was so good. And I had previously cooked like a turkey sausage in it, so I had that little bit of turkey in there too, flavor. And because I was doing breakfast casseroles, and I put that on top of it. And guys, it was fantastic. I mean, just have to make a taco seasoning mix or buy one. And Tones at Sam is great for gluten-free. Pardon me, last I heard. And that's what I used to always buy for my son. And I didn't see gluten in the list. So, but I think it's a gluten-free facility, and I think that is always good. And then I topped it with some extra cheddar, and then extra sharp cheddar, Cabot extra sharp cheddar. And then I chopped fresh onions, and I did throw onions in it while we cooked it. And then I put a few tomatoes. I had some of those cherry, kind of angel cherry bomb type tomatoes, and I cut those in half, and I put those all in before I put the meat on top. And then I topped it with fresh tomatoes and fresh onions, and guys, it was stinking good. They were all just like, this is great, do it again. And it was almost reminding me of Hamburger Helper taco that I would get for my kids when they were young. I never knew how bad those mixes were. I never had a clue. But I can control the salt. I can control everything on this, the fat, etc. And guys, it was so easy, so good. And I use my gluten-free, healthy gluten-free noodles. Don't buy the garbage ones, buy the good ones. And oh my goodness gracious, it was so good. So I made 3 more in the freezers, and one of those is 2 meals. So, and my sister was asking me, well, when you make them big like that, what do you do? And I said, well, what I really do is either we eat it twice, or I do 1 for dinner, 1 for lunch, the leftovers for lunch in like a day or 2. And she goes, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So you just have to heat it all the way through, and it will keep it healthy. As long as you keep heating it through, you're good. I mean, I wouldn't indefinitely do it. It'll just destroy the meal. But so I told her, I said, yeah, we can do that. We can take them for lunches. We can do whatever we want with them. We could refreeze them if we wanted to and then do it. But I told her, I said, those I don't pre-cook except for the meat and the pasta. I just wrap them, and then when I get ready to serve them, then I pull them out and I put them in. So you could even do egg in that. And we did. My youngest definitely loves sour cream. She put sour cream on hers. I put some on my husband's with some salsa, hot salsa for him. I put a tiny dollop. I mean, like maybe a tablespoon of sour cream. I decided I didn't need it. It was like, I could take it, I could leave it. So I believe it. I don't need anything extra. And just the onions and the tomatoes. And that I will do more of next time. Excellent, easy freezer meal, yummy tasting, etc. And then I know you guys are going to ask me, so for my breakfast casserole, I cooked that turkey. I laid that in the bottom of 2 of these really deep, zwilling, large loaf type casserole dishes. They're glass. And then I let that cool. I put a layer of, the tomatoes. I cut those in half and put those in there. And then I put onions, because my daughter doesn't like onions. I try to hide them in there. I put the onions in. Then I put a layer of, I'm trying to think, I think I just put cheese, regular cheese. Not crazy, just a little bit. And then I did my eggs. And in my eggs, I used that raw cow's milk and sour cream. I don't know why I put sour cream in there. Actually, I didn't use raw cow's milk. I take that back. I used buttermilk. I put raw buttermilk in there, and I did not do sour cream. That's what I did. And guys, it is good. If you like that savory, but you don't want to use salt flavor type, there's something in it. It's so good. And then I did, I put the cheese on top. I put some that cheddar, extra sharp Cabot cheddar, and a little bit of parm. And you're probably going to ask me, why would you put Parmesan in or on a breakfast casserole? And I would easily have put in a cottage cheese had I found the cottage cheese in time. The reason why is that it is a low-fat cheese and it gives you tons of flavor for not much cheese. So that's why I go with an extra sharp cheddar, and I also go with parm, and it is so stinking good. And as my youngest loves that cheese, she could just sit and eat out of a bowl. I'm with her. We get it shredded. I'm with her. And then I found like 3 blocks from, so I'm going to be shredding that up and using that in the next round of casseroles and pizzas when I make those. But I do want to say that there's 4 breakfasts already made, because one of those casseroles it's the largest one they sell, and it's thicker. It's like that deep, and about that wide. So that's a lot of food for one sitting. And I just decided we're just going to have 2 meals out of each one. And I literally did 6 eggs in each. So that is, to me, that's enough with I think an egg and cheese and turkey, I think, and then veggies, I think we're good. So, and I will just slice them up like you would if it'll let me, and pull them out, because I did grease the casseroles, and I will pull them out and heat them like you would toast. And it'll be kind of in between an egg casserole and then a kind of like an egg muffin, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But those freeze beautifully too. And I just put my zwilling tops on all of these, and then I took the air out, and it was fantastic. So that's where I'm at right now. I still have pizzas and tacos and breakfast tacos. I'm going to do bean and cheese tacos and breakfast tacos and different kinds of breakfast tacos. And that's my next endeavor. That's literally what's on my list. And then I'm going to be doing like greens pesto pasta casserole. And those are super, super easy. I do that fresh all the time. And right now I'm going to do it and put it in a casserole dish. And I'm going to put cottage cheese in there. And I'm just going to do like a lasagna type feel. And I may like layer it with zucchini. I'm going to get some zucchini. I'm not sure yet. But there are just some ways that you can add things to. And if you don't like greens, we love mustard greens. That's how I do it. My greens pesto pasta. I also put mushrooms and onions in there, sauteed mushrooms and onions, fabulous. But you could put spinach in there. They don't taste the spinach. My husband loves the flavor of the mustard greens, and so do I. We tried them all. We did Swiss, we did collards, we did kale, we did, spinach, and we all agree mustard greens are the thing, but we can't. There's something here that loves our mustard greens too much. So we'll see what we can do. But, okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. I still got to do Bible study. This was on the table, so this is what was getting done first. I hope you've enjoyed this. This is a frugal way to feed your family. This is a healthy way to feed your family. And I'm going to say this too. This is a great way for you to take care of yourself too. So, because on those long days where you're totally exhausted and you don't want to go in and cook, and I just don't ever want to cook dinner. I just as soon eat popcorn for dinner. I mean, seriously, God forbid. Anything happened to my husband, I would be eating popcorn every night for dinner. I would never cook. But these are great things to build and put in your fridges and just to eat healthy. And because this isn't a huge gallon, it's, the small half gallon. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. I am literally going to order a half gallon off of Amazon just like this. Or I guess I do have half gallons right now in my stash. I'll have to see. But the theory is to take it out of here and start a new one. So we can be eating one, brewing one, eating one, brewing one, eating one. And also when you go with the different types of vegetables, the different kinds of cheeses and yogurts, you're getting all different kinds of probiotics. That in sourdough, all different kinds of probiotics. They are so good for you, for your glycemic index, for your gut health, the whole thing. And I'm just beginning to touch the surface on working on gut health. So I know I will share more of that with you as I learn, as I go through. But I do want to say I'm excited. And I'm really excited these came with recipes. I didn't even notice that it was come with recipes, but they usually do. I'm just being silly. Usually, and another thing, they used to always have videos to demonstrate how to do these. I haven't checked yet, but I'm thinking, whoa, that was, hello. I'm thinking they still have them. So, all right, friends, I'm just going to leave it here. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you had, please give it a thumbs up. If you stayed to the end, God love you, because I was a chatty Cathy, but I have not had a real discussion about this, about where we're going in a while. I've gained 5 pounds back, like I said, so that's got to come off plus more. I would like to take 5 pounds off plus another 25. If I could get that off, that would be 50 down, and I think I qualify for surgery. Yes, I know. Okay, there's a thought. All right. Pray for me. All right, friends. I pray your day is blessed, creative, and lovely. Thank you so much for being here. And like I said, like, subscribe to all that good stuff. Leave a comment. Tell me if you've done any of these this way. I would love to hear your feedback. Okay, guys. I love you guys. But even more important, God loves you. Keep serving him well. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.